Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be looking at a TikTok live that gives us information about another girl called Nicola who was apparently involved, and that Dan McMeekin wants to tell his story. So in the last video that I did on the John George case, we looked at a TikTok live done by two people, a woman called Lisa and someone called Jay Hurst, who helped look for John George. Well, recently they did a live stream on TikTok, and Hayley Comet joined in as well. We got some information from this live that is very interesting, so let's take a look.
As soon as Madison can't get any more money out of Dawn or him, she will go straight into a police station and tell her whole fucking story, because she loves attention as much as she loves money.
Yeah.
When she came into my live that day and she was trying to come in the box, I said, no, I'm not having a kid in the box, kind of. I'm not going to have you up here and just tell us shit out of you. I won't do that. And then she was reaching out to me straight away saying, I've helped the family. They're not telling you. I just want you to believe me, because I had a big platform. It was very important to how I felt about her. But she was a liar. And I kept saying, like, that doesn't even make sense, Madison. And she's like sending me pictures of her holding a dog and that, like I care. But once the money runs out, she will find next man and she will tell everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that was what I said. She'd be the first. She'd be the best one to get hold of first. If you're not going to get Johnny, she's the one they want to be targeted, because they're going to get her in an interrogation room with two Interpol interrogators stood over her. 5 minutes, she's cracking. She's bellowing, she's crying, she's going through a box of tissues, and she's singing like a canary. And the case is cracked.
100%.
Absolutely.
She's the weakest link in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So we have spoke about Madison being the weak link, and that she would probably tell the police everything if she was interrogated. And Hayley has just said that Madison was messaging her, saying that she is helping the family, but they are choosing not to tell anyone. But I think that if she was helping the family, then why wouldn't they say that she was helping, just like they did with Kyle Young? The problem is, John's family are the victims in this case, and Madison has clearly done something that has affected the family. We know that she didn't tell the truth at the start, which is the same situation as Dan, and he even said that he should have told them sooner. But also for John's family to put up posts saying that she is wanted by the police, then she is clearly involved and is part of this murder investigation. We have seen that Billy put up a post saying that someone called Kyle Young is a suspect in the case, but then Billy told us that he's helping them and isn't a suspect anymore. So it's not about the family not telling the truth, because I believe that if Madison was innocent and had nothing to do with John's death, then the family would say that. But what part did Madison play? Is it the fact that she is covering for Johnny Smith that has caused problems with John's family? Or did she actually play a big role in this case, other than lying and covering for someone who it seems like she doesn't even like? We have all seen messages between Johnny and Madison, and their relationship doesn't look very good. So is Madison just covering for this person who she doesn't even like that much? Or did she play a vital role in this murder investigation? That could get her a very serious sentence if she is charged.
We also have Dan, and Dan wants to tell his story. Dan is the only one I've seen which show any empathy, and while I don't forgive him for lying to Billy George, and I do think he has a relatively shitty past, he absolutely needs to be in a place where he is safe and he will talk.
Yeah, exactly what I said earlier, Hayley, before you joined. And I don't want it to sound bad, but I would love to hear Dan's story. I really would.
Yeah. That'd be a hell of an interview. But I agree with what you're saying about Dan. He wants to tell his story, and I hope they can catch him before something bad happens to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in a bad state, but he is in a state where he has pissed off the George family and he's lied to them. He's also can't go back to Belfast because he'll be arrested instantly. He's got no passport. He can't go and apply for an emergency passport because he's wanted by the police in Belfast. So any kind of place you walk into, he's going to be taken straight away. He also is an addict, so he does things, and I said to Dan the other day...
For me.
Hayley has given us some more information about Dan McMeekin, and that he has information that he wants to talk about, but he needs to be in a safe place for him to explain his side of the story. I saw some comments on my video of Dan when he did the Facebook Live, and some of you suggested that he was used by Johnny and Michael as a scapegoat in this case. I do believe that Dan was used because if the story about the disturbing picture is true, and Dan is the one in the picture with Johnny, then it looks like he was a victim himself. But I have to be honest, and as much as he should have told the family the truth, it looks like he wasn't able to do that because he might have been in a very dangerous position. But that does not mean that he has to lie to the family, and it is a very sticky situation, but maybe he was in that situation because of the company he keeps. Hayley also says that if he went back to Belfast, then he would be arrested straight away. Is this because of the incident with John George, or is he involved in other situations that could land him in prison? If it is to do with the John George case, then why hasn't he been arrested and charged in Spain? Surely they know where he is, because he was arrested previously, but got let out very quickly and wasn't charged. Maybe they didn't have any evidence. A comment that Hurst makes is that he hopes that they can catch him before something bad happens to him. So is he basically saying that the police are trying to arrest him again? Also, when Dan was arrested the first time, did he play the blame game, which helped him get released, and blamed Michael, Johnny, and Madison? Because he clearly didn't want to tell his story when he first got arrested. Or he could have told the police his story, and they haven't released it in the media and are actually investigating this case very wisely.
Originally from Ballymena, and there's quite a few people, that's where Nicola is from, and they're asking, can you say anything about her possible involvement in all this?
Yeah, okay, so she had information after the fact. I believe she 100% knew what happened to John George. And I'm of the belief, and I can't say this is for sure, but at some time her and Madison returned to where the body was. She posted some videos on Instagram where you can see street signs, which is about 20 minutes away from where John George's body was. And in the text conversation she had with Dan, Dan was saying to her, look, Nicola, you know where the body is. You need to tell them because I don't have that information and I'm going to unalive myself. You need to go and tell them because I can't cope, I can't sleep, I can't eat. So I believe maybe they were looking for shell casings, a watch, something, but I think them two got sent back there for some reason. Yeah. When I've had brief conversations with Dan, which we have a little bit, and I asked him about it, he said she's very involved and that's all he would say. And I do believe, I mean, she's an absolute dickhead, I'm going to be honest.
So if you don't know who this Nicola girl is, I have put a picture up on the screen for you to see, and she was talked about by the family and is allegedly a friend of Madison's. So Hayley says that she isn't sure if it's 100% true, but Madison and Nicola went to where John's body was left because they were searching for a watch or shell casings. If this is true, then it tells us more about Madison as well. You have to ask the question if they were forced to go or if they even wanted to be involved in this situation. But the fact that Hayley has spoke to Dan and he said that she knew where John's body was and that she's involved makes us believe that there is a lot more to this story. Is Nicola only involved because she is friends with Madison, or did she witness something happen to John? Another big question is who was actually there when John was shot and stabbed. This whole case has a very dark story behind it, and it seems like people who shouldn't have been involved have somehow got themselves caught up in this case. This makes me think that maybe Madison and her friend Nicola were there when John was attacked, because otherwise, how would Nicola be involved? Surely Madison wouldn't tell her friend about what happened with John if she didn't have to, especially as she planned to keep this quiet. And if John's family didn't do everything they could to get some answers, then there is a chance that they probably would have got away with it. But Madison could have panicked and told her friend because she was in a very bad situation. You never know. Plus, this information is from Dan, so you really don't know if he's telling the truth. John's family have spoke about Nicola, so that would suggest that she did know something about this case. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will update you as we find out more.